In this episode, we explore how relationships and sexuality are understood through the wisdom of the Lotus Sutra and the teachings passed down to us. At the heart of this understanding lies a profound truth about human nature itself. We are beings with desires, emotions, and connections to others. Buddhism does not deny this reality, but instead shows us how to transform it. The principle of earthly desires, our enlightenment, called Banno Soku Bodai, forms the foundation of this view. This means our desires and struggles are not obstacles blocking our path to happiness. They are the very fuel we use to achieve it. When we chant the mystic law, we burn the firewood of earthly desires and summon up the wisdom fire of enlightenment. This includes all our feelings about love, attraction, and intimacy with others. Sexual desire is simply one form of human yearning. It cannot be separated from who we are as people. The writings teach us that even during the sexual union of man and woman, when one chants the mystic law, earthly desires become enlightenment itself. This does not mean we abandon all self-control or act without thinking. It means we recognize that our desires can lead us toward wisdom when we base our lives on correct practice. Respect for others stands as the first pillar of how we approach relationships. Every person possesses the Buddha nature regardless of gender, background, or who they love. The writings make clear that there should be no discrimination among practitioners, whether men or women. This principle extends naturally to all aspects of how we treat each other. Sexual relationships must be based on mutual respect and genuine consent. Any action that exploits or harms another person contradicts the very essence of compassion. Think about this. When we view another person with respect, we see their inherent dignity. We recognize they are not objects for our gratification, but fellow human beings seeking happiness just as we are. The Lotus Sutra teaches us to cultivate a mind of great compassion toward all people. This compassion must guide how we relate to romantic partners, potential partners, and everyone we encounter. Responsibility and commitment form the second foundation of healthy relationships. Honesty about our intentions and feelings protects both ourselves and others from unnecessary suffering. When we enter into relationships, whether casual or committed, we take on obligations. We must be transparent about what we want and what we can offer. Building trust and mutual understanding requires effort, patience, and genuine communication. The idea of unity between husband and wife appears in the writings as an ideal based on shared faith. The letter to the wife of a devoted practitioner explains that a woman who embraces the Lotus Sutra excels all other women and surpasses all men. This teaching emphasized equality at a time when society viewed women as lesser beings. The writings describe how the wisteria depends on the pine tree, using this as a metaphor for partnership. The deeper message speaks to interdependence and mutual support in marriage. Here's the truth. Relationships work best when both people share common values and support each other's growth. When couples practice together, they create unity not just between themselves, but with the fundamental law of life itself. This shared foundation helps them weather difficulties and transform challenges into opportunities for deepening their bond. Now consider this. The concept of mindful consumption applies to all our desires, including those related to sensuality. Buddhism encourages us to avoid excessive indulgence that leads to harm. This does not mean we must live as monks or nuns. It means we approach pleasure with awareness rather than being controlled by craving. When we chase after one gratification after another without pause, we create suffering for ourselves. The difference between experiencing pleasure and being attached to pleasure matters greatly. Attachment keeps us trapped in cycles of wanting more, never satisfied, always seeking the next experience. When we practice correctly, we can experience joy and intimacy without being enslaved by our cravings. We transform the energy of desire into positive action that benefits both ourselves and others. Cultivating virtue in our relationships includes developing self-control, generosity, and empathy. Self-control does not mean suppression or denial of our nature. It means making conscious choices about how we act rather than being driven by impulse alone. Generosity in relationships means giving freely of our time, attention, and care without keeping score. Empathy allows us to feel the sufferings and joys of others as our own. Listen to this. The true basis of compassion lies in feeling another person's suffering as if it were your own.